Hi, it's Michelle Gannon from the Language Playground. I have another idea that we've been doing and I wanted to share with you guys that maybe you can do it with your children. Recently, my son has wanted to buy Pokemon cards and he knows that I will not give him the money to buy the Pokemon cards himself. And so we started brainstorming some of the things that he can do and what are some of his skills. And one of his skills is that he connects really well with kids and that he knows Chinese. So we started his tutoring business. He now has 4 clients and they are all at different levels. And it's worked out really well. We've definitely had some stumbling blocks along the way, which I wanted to share with you. I think the first one was that I think he didn't realize how much preparation actually goes into planning a lesson. There were a couple of nights where we had 2 students coming in the next day and it was 9:30 at night and all of a sudden there he and I were planning these lessons. Another thing he didn't realize was how involved planning a lesson is, that it's not just one thing. You don't just do one activity when you have a student with you for 45 minutes. Was that initially Lucas thought that it was going to be super simple, that he would just sit there and play games with the children in Chinese and not realize that when you teach a lesson and when you tutor for knowledge, for an understanding of a certain topic, or to make sure that kids know a certain word by the end of the lesson, that you actually need to put some planning into that. You need to do some backwards design. Where do we want them to end up and how do we get there? And so initially we needed to come up with some ideas of what are some things that we can do to keep students' interest, especially when you're speaking Chinese the whole entire time for the lesson. So that was also another stumbling block, was trying to think of how do we come up with 3 or 4 different things that we can do in a lesson that get us to where we want to be by the end. The next thing that we stumbled on, so sorry telling you all of our problems, but I think that's where you learn the most, is through some of the problems that you've had, was how do we keep track of our lessons? How do we keep track of what we've done and what we want to do? Where do we want the students to end up with at the end of the 10-week lesson, the 10-week session? So we ended up creating a spreadsheet for each child so that we could keep track of it. So anyway, we've had a lot of fun with it, so it hasn't all been stumbling blocks for sure. But it's been great for him to really soak in this knowledge because he needs to be an expert in the topic in order to teach it. And so I have found that his Chinese tutoring has actually made him a much better Chinese student himself because he needs to know it and know it well before he can teach it. Anyway, he ended up not buying Pokemon cards after all. He now wants to save up for a house in Hawaii. So I'll let you know how that goes. Anyway, see you later. Check our website for more ideas. www.thelanguageplayground.com. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.